when a brilliant trauma surgeon turned janitor and his gifted daughter show unexpected compassion to a ruthless tech CEO during her darkest hour. Three broken souls discover that the greatest fortune isn't found in boardrooms. It's built in the spaces between heartbeats. The Celestial Grand Hotel's charity gala glitters like a constellation fallen to earth. Crystal chandeliers cast prisms across marble floors, where Manhattan's elite drift in $10,000 gowns and borrowed confidence. Champagne flows. Diamonds compete with the city lights bleeding through floor-to-ceiling windows. At the ballroom's edge, near the service entrance, Daniel Hayes mops a spilled drink with practiced invisibility. His janitor's uniform is pressed but worn. His hands, surgeon's hands, though no one here would know, work efficiently. Beside him, 7-year-old Maya Hayes sits on a velvet bench, legs swinging, her patched dress clean, but clearly secondhand. She's reading a medical journal she found in the hotel library, her finger tracing words too complex for most adults. "Daddy, did you know the vagus nerve can actually slow your heart rate when you're stressed? It's like built-in calm." Daniel's smile is tired but genuine. "I did know that, baby. You're going to be smarter than me by the time you're 8. I'm already smarter than you." Her grin is mischievous. "You said so last Tuesday." He laughs, a sound that seems foreign to him, like he's borrowed it from someone else's life. The sound draws a few dismissive glances from nearby guests. The help shouldn't laugh, shouldn't exist beyond utility. The ballroom doors open with cinematic drama. Victoria Chen enters like winter personified. CEO of Nexus Technologies, Forbes' most feared woman in tech. She's 34 and already legendary for destroying competitors with the precision of a surgical strike. Her midnight blue gown costs more than Daniel earns in a year. Her face, breathtaking and terrifying, shows no emotion, zero warmth. Her assistant, Marcus, trails behind with a tablet, whispering urgent updates. "The Donovan merger is critical, Ms. Chen. If we lose this deal, we won't." Her voice could freeze blood. "Weakness is a choice. I don't make that choice." Every head turns. Conversations pause mid-sentence. Victoria Chen doesn't attend events, she conquers them. Maya's eyes widen. "Daddy, is that a real princess?" Several wealthy women nearby snicker. One mutters loudly enough to be heard. "More like the Ice Queen. Pretty packaging, nothing inside." Daniel gently touches Maya's shoulder. "No, honey, just a businesswoman. Come on, we need to finish." But Maya is already moving. The child approaches Victoria with the fearlessness only 7-year-olds possess. Daniel's heart stops. "Excuse me, miss." Maya's voice is clear, sincere. "I really like your dress. It's the color of the ocean at night, like in the book Daddy reads me." The ballroom seems to inhale collectively. Victoria stops, turns, looks down at this small creature in a patched dress holding a medical journal. For a microsecond, something flickers behind those ice blue eyes. Confusion? Recognition of something long forgotten? "Thank you," Victoria says, her voice uncertain for the first time in years. "Are you sad?" Maya tilts her head. "You look beautiful, but sad. Like my daddy sometimes." The silence is deafening. Daniel rushes over, face flushed with embarrassment. "Maya, no, I'm so sorry, ma'am." She doesn't understand. Doesn't understand what? Victoria's gaze shifts to Daniel. She sees the janitor's uniform, the calloused hands, the face weathered by something heavier than age. But also, something else. Intelligence. Depth. Pain that matches the ocean in her dress. That some people don't want to be bothered. Daniel says quietly, taking Maya's hand. Come on, sweetheart. Wait. Victoria's hand rises, surprising herself. It's fine. What's your name? Maya Hayes. I'm 7 3/4. This is my daddy, Daniel. He's the best daddy in the whole world, even though he's always tired, and sometimes I hear him crying at night. But he says he's not crying, he just has allergies. But, Maya. Daniel's voice cracks slightly. Victoria's perfectly constructed mask fractures. Just a hairline crack, but it's there. She looks at this man who mops floors while his daughter reads medical journals. At this child who sees sadness through expensive armor. I'm Victoria, she says, and it's the first time in 5 years she's introduced herself with just her first name. Excuse me. A sharp voice cuts through the moment. A woman in diamonds and surgical perfection appears. Margot Sheffield, real estate mogul, professional snob. Is there a problem here? Victoria, do you need security? This person shouldn't be bothering guests. Daniel's jaw tightens. Maya's hand squeezes his. This person? Victoria's voice drops 10 degrees. Margot doesn't recognize the danger. Obviously. Margot gestures at Daniel's uniform. The help should know their place, especially not letting their children run wild at an event like this. Daniel, is it? Perhaps you should focus on cleaning rather than social climbing through your daughter. The words land like slaps. Maya's eyes fill with tears. Daniel's face goes blank. The expression of someone who's learned to absorb humiliation like body blows. My daddy works harder than anyone. Maya's voice shakes but holds firm. He saves lives. Maya, don't. Daniel's voice is barely audible. Saved lives, Victoria says suddenly, surprising everyone including herself. Past tense. You were a doctor. Every eye in the vicinity snaps to Daniel. His secret, guarded for 3 years, exposed in a glittering ballroom by a woman who sees too much. You have a doctor's posture, Victoria continues, her analytical mind engaging. Surgeon, specifically. The way you hold your hands. The precision of your movements. Trauma surgery, I'd guess, but you're here mopping floors. Why? That's none of your concern, Daniel says, his voice steady despite the earthquake inside him. Everything is my concern when it interests me. Victoria turns to Margot. And you're dismissed. Leave. Now. I beg your pardon. You should beg. You should beg for basic human decency, which you clearly lack. This conversation is over. You're no longer welcome at my table tonight. Margot sputters, face red, but she knows better than to challenge Victoria Chen. She retreats in a storm of indignation. Victoria turns back to Daniel and Maya. I'd like to continue this conversation. Join me for dinner, both of you. We can't possibly, Daniel begins. I don't make requests twice, Dr. Hayes. Victoria's private table overlooks Manhattan's glittering skyline. Daniel and Maya sit stiffly, surrounded by wealth that feels like a foreign country. Other guests whisper, shocked that the Ice Queen invited the janitor to dine. A waiter approaches, Gerard, older, sneering. He places menus before Victoria and Marcus, but ignores Daniel and Maya. Excuse me, Daniel says quietly. Could we have menus as well? Gerard's lip curls. The staff dining area is downstairs. Perhaps you're confused about which floor you belong on. Maya's face crumples. Gerard. Victoria's voice is a scalpel. Bring menus, now, and apologize. Miss Chen, surely you don't expect. I expect competence. You're demonstrating incompetence. Menus and an apology, or I'll speak to your manager, and you'll be serving drinks at a highway rest stop by morning. Gerard's face goes white. He returns moments later with menus and a grudging apology that tastes like poison. Maya whispers to Daniel, Why are people so mean? Because they're scared, baby, he whispers back. Scared people hurt others to feel bigger. Were you ever scared, Daddy? His hand trembles slightly as he opens the menu. Every day. Over dinner, conversation flows strangely. Victoria asks questions with genuine curiosity, something she hasn't felt in years. Why medicine? She asks Daniel. My mother. His voice is distant. She died when I was 12. Preventable. A doctor who didn't care enough to look past her Medicaid card. I decided I'd be different. And you were? I tried. Johns Hopkins, top of my class, trauma surgery at Presbyterian. I was good. Really good. His hands flex unconsciously, remembering. Until 3 years ago. He doesn't elaborate. The pain in his eyes says enough. Maya fills the silence, chattering to Victoria about her favorite books, her science projects, how her daddy teaches her something new every night, even when he's exhausted. The child's unfiltered love for her father is so pure it's almost painful to witness. Victoria watches them with something awakening in her chest, something she thought she'd surgically removed years ago. You remind me of someone, Victoria tells Maya suddenly. My younger sister. She used to ask questions like you. Saw the world like it was full of magic. Used to. Maya's perception is devastating. She died 10 years ago. Car accident. Victoria's voice doesn't waver, but her hand grips the wine glass harder. She was 16. I was 24, just starting my first company. I promised her I'd change the world, make it better, safer. A pause. Instead, I just made money. Money isn't bad, Maya says seriously. Daddy says it's a tool, like a hammer. You can build houses or hurt people. It depends on the person holding it. Victoria looks at Daniel. You're raising a philosopher. I'm raising a survivor, he corrects quietly. Across the ballroom, Margot Sheffield plots with Richard Donovan, the billionaire whose merger deal Victoria desperately needs. Margot whispers poison into his ear, showing him phone photos of Victoria dining with the help. She's losing her edge, Richard, soft, sentimental. Is that who you want running the merged company? Someone who makes friends with janitors. Richard's eyes narrow. Interesting. They approach Victoria's table with predatory smiles. Victoria, Richard's voice is oil slick smooth. Enjoying your diverse company this evening? I'm enjoying competent, honest company, something I should have prioritized in my business relationships. His smile freezes. Careful. Sentiment is expensive in our world. The weak don't survive. Then it's fortunate I'm not weak, merely reassessing what strength actually means. We'll see. Richard leans closer. The board meeting is Monday. I hope your new perspective hasn't clouded your judgment. Donovan Industries doesn't partner with companies led by unstable leadership. He leaves. The threat hangs in the air like smoke. Marcus, Victoria's assistant, looks panicked. Miss Chen, if he pulls the merger. I know, Marcus. Daniel starts to stand. We should go. We're causing problems for you. Victoria stands abruptly, her face suddenly pale. She grips the table edge. Miss Chen? Marcus reaches for her. I'm fine. Just... Her breath comes in short gasps. Her hand clutches her chest. The ballroom tilts. Panic attack. Severe. Years of suppressed trauma, stress and exhaustion, choosing this moment to detonate. She collapses. Maya screams. Guests gasp. Someone shouts for a doctor. Daniel is already moving. His janitor's uniform might as well dissolve as something else takes over. Muscle memory, training, purpose. He catches Victoria before she hits the marble floor, lowering her gently. His fingers find her pulse. His other hand tilts her head back, checking her airway. Everyone back. Give her space. His voice carries command, authority, the unmistakable tone of a trauma surgeon in control. Marcus, call 911. Tell them possible cardiac event. Female, mid-30s. Conscious, but unstable. Maya, sweetheart, move to the window. His hands move with absolute precision, checking vitals, loosening her dress collar, elevating her legs slightly. He speaks calmly, continuously. Victoria, Victoria, can you hear me? I need you to breathe with me. In for 4, hold for 4, out for 4. Your vagus nerve is in overdrive. We're going to calm it down. Her terrified eyes lock on his. She nods minutely. Good. In. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Out. 2, 3, 4. You're safe. I've got you. You're not dying. This is a panic response. Your body is protecting you from something your mind won't process. Breathe with me. The ballroom watches in stunned silence as the janitor saves the Ice Queen with nothing but knowledge, calm, and steady hands. Slowly, color returns to Victoria's face. Her breathing regulates. The panic recedes like a tide. What? She whispers. What happened? Your body staged a coup, Daniel says gently. It's been trying to tell you something for a long time, and you haven't been listening. Paramedics arrive. Daniel briefs them with clinical precision, using medical terminology that confirms what Victoria suspected. This man is no mere janitor. He's a surgeon, a brilliant one. As they prepare to transport Victoria, she grabs Daniel's hand. Come with me, she says. Please. 2 hours later, Victoria sits in a private hospital suite, wearing a gown instead of armor. Tests came back clear. No heart attack, just a catastrophic panic attack. Daniel and Maya sit in chairs nearby. Marcus hovers anxiously by the door. Why are you still here? Victoria asks Daniel. Maya insisted. She was worried. The child nods seriously. You looked like my daddy does sometimes, like you're carrying something too heavy and nobody else can see it. Victoria's eyes glisten, the first tears in 5 years threatening to fall. The doctors say I need rest, therapy, time off. She laughs bitterly. I don't have time. Not 5 minutes. The Donovan merger, the board meeting. Richard's already circling like a shark smelling blood. Then let him, Daniel says quietly. Excuse me? Let him circle. Let it all fall apart if that's what's meant to happen. Victoria, I don't know you, but I know what I saw tonight. Someone drowning in success. Suffocating under achievement. You're not having panic attacks because you're weak. You're having them because you're human, and you've been pretending you're not for so long. Your body is staging a rebellion. You don't understand the stakes. I understand perfectly. His voice hardens. I understand building your entire identity around achievement until there's nothing else left. I understand working yourself to death to prove something to people who don't matter. I understand losing everything that actually matters while chasing things that don't. The room goes silent. Is that what happened to you? Victoria asks softly. You lost something. Daniel closes his eyes. Maya takes his hand. 3 years ago I was at the top. Chief trauma surgeon at Presbyterian. Married to a beautiful woman, Rebecca. Maya's mom. We had a perfect life, perfect house, perfect careers. Except, his voice cracks, except I was never home. 18-hour surgeries, back-to-back shifts. I saved strangers and ignored my own family. Maya squeezes his hand tighter. One night, Rebecca took Maya to a school play I'd missed, again. I was in surgery. A drunk driver ran a red light. The words come out like broken glass. Rebecca died instantly. Maya survived with minor injuries. I got the call while I was stitching up a gunshot victim, who'd probably be back on the street, doing the same stupid things in a week. Tears streamed down his face now, unchecked. I saved a stranger while my wife died. I chose the operating room over my family one last time, and it cost me everything. After Rebecca's funeral, I couldn't go back, couldn't hold a scalpel, couldn't walk into a hospital without seeing her face, hearing Maya asking where mommy was. I had a breakdown, lost my license. Not officially, but I couldn't practice, couldn't function. He looks at Maya with devastating love. The only thing that kept me alive was this little girl. She needed me. So I took the first job I could find that didn't require me to be a doctor. Became a janitor. Invisible. Safe. I could be present for Maya. Take her to school. Read her stories. Never miss another moment. Victoria's tears fall freely now. I gave up everything that made me successful and found the one thing that actually mattered. Being her father. Really being it. Not the ghost who used to live in our house. My sister's name was Lily, Victoria says quietly. She was brilliant. Kind. Everything I'm not. When she died, I blamed myself. Working. Of course. Always working. She called me that afternoon, wanted to talk about something important. I sent her to voicemail. Had a meeting. Her voice breaks. She was coming to see me, driving to my office because I wouldn't take her call. The accident happened 2 blocks away. If I'd just answered the phone, she'd be alive. She was going to tell me she got into Stanford early admission. She died holding the acceptance letter. Daniel moves to sit beside her bed, taking her hand. So I built an empire on her grave, Victoria continues. Made billions, changed nothing, saved no one, just made money and called it success, while becoming exactly the kind of person who would send their sister to voicemail during a meeting. You're not that person anymore, Daniel says firmly. That person wouldn't have defended Maya and me tonight, wouldn't have invited us to dinner, wouldn't have seen us as human. I'm not sure who I am anymore. Maybe that's a good thing. Maybe you get to decide. Maya climbs onto the bed, curling against Victoria like it's the most natural thing in the world. The CEO stiffens, then slowly, carefully, wraps an arm around the child. My Gaddy says every day is a choice, Maya whispers. You choose who you want to be when you wake up. Yesterday doesn't get to decide for you. Victoria pulls them both closer, and finally lets herself cry. While Victoria heals in her hospital room, Richard Donovan's plan unfolds. He meets Marcus, Victoria's assistant, in an underground parking garage. You have everything, Richard asks. Marcus hands over a USB drive. Every email, every confidential file, her medical records from tonight, the photos of her dining with the janitor, the video of her collapse, it's all here. And in exchange, CFO position when you take over Nexus, plus the 10 million we discussed. Done. Richard's smile is reptilian. By Monday morning, Victoria Chen will be voted out by her own board. They'll see a CEO who's lost control, who's unstable, who brings janitors to business dinners. Nexus will be mine, and you'll be my right hand. She trusted me, Marcus says, a flicker of guilt crossing his face. Trust is for fools. You're not a fool, are you, Marcus? No, sir. Daniel's phone rings at 6 a.m. Victoria's number. Turn on the news, she says. Her voice is ice again. But brittle. Any channel. He does. Maya watches over his shoulder. Every major news outlet runs the same story. Tech CEO Victoria Chen hospitalized. Mental breakdown? Leadership in question? Photos of her collapse. Videos of her dining with Daniel. Medical records leaked. Commentary from anonymous board members questioning her stability. Victoria, Daniel starts. It's over, she says flatly. Emergency board meeting Monday morning. They're going to vote me out. Richard orchestrated this. He has enough board members in his pocket. I built this company from nothing, and I'm losing it because I showed one moment of humanity. Who leaked your medical records? That's illegal. Marcus, my assistant of 7 years. Richard's been paying him for months, apparently. The USB drive with everything was found in Marcus's apartment. He wasn't as careful as he thought. But the damage is done. The story is out. The board is scared. Richard looks stable. I look broken. You're not broken. Tell that to the stockholders watching the news. After Victoria hangs up, Maya looks at her father with that unsettling wisdom children sometimes possess. Daddy, we have to help her. Baby, this is corporate politics. It's not something we can. You can, though. Maya's eyes are bright. You know things. You see things. You're the smartest person I know, and she's our friend now. Friends help friends. Maya, please, Daddy. She saved us from those mean people at the party. She was kind when she didn't have to be. And she's sad like you were before you figured out how to be happy again. We can't just let the bad people win. Daniel looks at his daughter, this 7-year-old force of nature, and feels something stir. The part of him that solved impossible cases in the ER. The strategist. The fighter. Okay, he says quietly. Okay. But I'm going to need your help. Always, Maya grins. Daniel spends Saturday and Sunday doing what he does best, solving impossible problems. He calls in favors from his old life. A lawyer friend who specializes in corporate law. A journalist who owes him for saving her father's life years ago. A tech-savvy former patient who can trace digital footprints. They discover Marcus's financial records showing payments from Donovan Industries starting 6 months ago. Email chains between Richard and 3 board members coordinating the coup. Evidence that Richard deliberately triggered the merger crisis to destabilize Victoria. Medical expert testimony that Victoria's panic attack was a normal stress response, not evidence of instability. Records showing Richard's own history of mental health treatment, which he's hidden from his board. Maya helps, organizing documents, highlighting key phrases with her bright markers, asking questions that lead Daniel to connections he'd missed. By Sunday night, and I need you to trust me one more time. The Nexus Technologies boardroom is all glass and steel, a fishbowl for corporate sharks. 12 board members sit around an obsidian table. Richard Donovan sits at the far end, confident, smiling. Victoria enters, flanked by her lawyer. She looks exhausted, but composed. The Ice Queen rebuilt overnight. Let's begin, Chairman Walsh says gravely. Victoria, you understand why we're here. The events of Friday night. The leaked medical information. The questions about your judgment. I understand that someone orchestrated a coup using illegal means, and you're all cowards for falling for it. Victoria says coolly. That's quite an accusation, Richard interjects smoothly. Perhaps the stress is still affecting your judgment. Or perhaps you underestimated me, again. The boardroom doors open. Daniel walks in, wearing a borrowed suit, carrying a leather folder. Maya follows, dressed in her Sunday best, holding a tablet. The board stares. What is this? Walsh demands. This is Dr. Daniel Hayes, Victoria says, former chief trauma surgeon at Presbyterian Hospital, current truth teller, and my advisor for this meeting. You can't bring outsiders. He's not an outsider. As of this morning, Dr. Hayes is a consultant for Nexus Technologies. I'm invoking my right to have advisors present. Richard's smile falters. Victoria, what are you doing? Winning, she says simply. Daniel places folders before each board member. Maya projects documents onto the screen behind them with surprising competence. What you're about to see, Daniel begins, his voice carrying the authority of an operating room, is evidence of corporate espionage, illegal disclosure of medical records, and conspiracy to defraud shareholders. Document by document, email by email, financial record by financial record, Daniel dismantles Richard's coup. He presents Marcus's payments, the coordinated board member conspiracy, the deliberate creation of the merger crisis. Moreover, Daniel continues, Mr. Donovan has repeatedly claimed perfect mental health, making Miss Chen's panic attack a point of attack. However, Maya clicks to the next slide. Richard's own psychiatric records appear, obtained legally through a former patient's testimony about Richard's undisclosed treatment. You've been on anti-anxiety medication for 3 years, Richard. Treated for depression following your divorce. There's no shame in that, except when you use someone else's health crisis as a weapon while hiding your own. The boardroom erupts. Richard goes pale. This is illegal, he shouts. You can't use my medical records. Actually, you opened that door when you leaked Victoria's records. Daniel's former lawyer friend says, standing from the back of the room. It's called reciprocal disclosure. You weaponized health information. You lost your privacy protection. Victoria stands, and when she speaks, her voice carries the weight of someone who's found solid ground after years of quicksand. I built this company with my bare hands, she says. 16-hour days, countless sacrifices. I turned a garage startup into a $10 billion enterprise. And yes, I broke myself doing it. Yes, I ignored my health, my humanity, my heart. And yes, I had a panic attack at a charity gala because I've been drowning for 5 years. And finally, someone noticed. She gestures to Daniel and Maya. A janitor noticed. A child noticed. They showed me more humanity in one evening than this board has shown me in a decade. And you know what I learned? Strength isn't pretending you don't hurt. Strength is admitting you do and healing anyway. She turns to Richard. You thought my moment of humanity was weakness. You're wrong. It was the first smart decision I've made in years. And it led me to people who helped me see exactly who you are. A parasitic opportunist who preys on loyalty while possessing none. The merger, Richard starts desperately, is dead, Victoria says flatly. Donovan Industries will never touch Nexus. I'd rather burn my company to the ground than let you profit from betrayal. And as for the board members who conspired with you, she looks at the 3 members Daniel identified. You have until end of business today to resign, or I'll pursue legal action for breach of fiduciary duty. Your choice. Silence. Then Chairman Walsh speaks. I move that we retain Victoria Chen as CEO with full confidence and investigate Richard Donovan's actions through proper legal channels. Seconded, another board member says quickly. The vote is unanimous, minus the 3 co-conspirators who sit frozen. Richard Donovan leaves the boardroom defeated. The conspiracy crumbles. The Ice Queen reclaims her throne. But she looks different now, warmer, more human. Meeting adjourned, Victoria says. Except you, Dr. Hayes, and Maya, you stay. When the boardroom empties, Victoria sits across from Daniel and Maya. She removes her heels, suddenly looking tired and real and vulnerable. I can't repay what you've done, she says quietly. We don't want repayment, Daniel replies. We wanted to help a friend. Well, your friend wants to offer you a job, not as a consultant, as chief medical officer of Nexus Technologies. Daniel blinks. I don't understand. I'm pivoting the company. New division, medical technology, diagnostic tools, surgical equipment, AI-assisted healthcare. We're going to save lives, Daniel. Real, actual lives. And I need someone who understands both the medicine and the mission. Someone who knows what it means to lose everything and fight to rebuild. Someone who won't let me forget why we're doing this. Victoria, I haven't practiced in 3 years. You practiced Friday night. You saved my life with nothing but knowledge and compassion. You organized a corporate investigation in 48 hours. You're brilliant, Daniel. Don't hide it. Don't waste it. Come work with me. Not for me, with me. Daniel looks at Maya. She nods excitedly. Can I have weekends off? He asks quietly. And be home for dinner every night? And never miss a school play or science fair or bedtime story? Yes, Victoria says immediately. Those are mandatory company policies now. For everyone. Work-life balance isn't optional anymore. I'm implementing it top-down, starting with us. Then yes, I'll do it. The Nexus Technologies Medical Division gleams with promise. Daniel's office overlooks Central Park, but he's rarely in it. He's always in the labs, working with engineers, designing tools that save lives. Victoria's office is next door. They meet daily, strategizing, planning, building something that matters. The board tried to resist the pivot. She replaced half of them. Maya attends a progressive school nearby, one that celebrates gifted children instead of medicating them into compliance. She visits the office after school, doing homework in the break room, befriending engineers, teaching them about vagus nerves and kindness. On a Friday evening, Daniel finds Victoria standing at her window, watching the sunset paint Manhattan gold. "How are you?" he asks. "I'm okay," she says. And it sounds like the truth. Dr. Martinez, my therapist, says I'm making progress. The nightmares about Lily are less frequent. I'm sleeping more than 4 hours a night. Revolutionary concepts. Proud of you, Daniel says simply. She turns to him. I never thanked you properly. For saving me, for seeing me, for not letting me destroy myself. Maya saw you first. He deflects. And you raised her to see people like that, to value kindness over status, to believe in second chances. Victoria pauses. Daniel, I need to tell you something. His heart stutters. He's been feeling something growing between them for weeks. Something terrifying and wonderful. When you walked into that boardroom, Victoria continues, I realized something. You're the bravest person I've ever met. Not because you performed surgery or solved corporate espionage, but because you chose vulnerability. You chose to be present for your daughter when the world told you that made you a failure. You chose love over achievement, and that changed everything for me. Victoria, I'm not saying we have to rush anything, she says quickly. I'm not even sure I know how to be in a relationship. I'm still figuring out how to be a person. But I want you to know that you matter to me. You and Maya both. You're not employees. You're family. The family I thought I'd lost forever. Daniel takes her hand. Then we're lucky, he says softly. Because Maya and I thought we'd lost family too. Turns out we were all just waiting to find each other. That Sunday, they go to Central Park. All three of them. They're not romantic partners. Not yet. But there's something deeper. Survivors building something new from broken pieces. Maya runs ahead to the playground. Victoria and Daniel walk slowly behind her, their shoulders occasionally brushing. Do you miss surgery? Victoria asks. Sometimes. Daniel admits. But I don't miss the person I was when I did it. I don't miss choosing scalpels over stories. I like who I am now. who I'm becoming. Me too, Victoria says. I like who I'm becoming. Slower, softer, more human. You were always human. You just forgot. They reach a bench overlooking the pond. Maya returns, breathless, holding something. Look. She opens her palm. A monarch butterfly rests there, wings slowly opening and closing. Daddy, did you know monarchs migrate 3,000 miles? They're so small, but so brave. Like you, Daniel says, kissing her head. Like all of us, Victoria adds quietly. The butterfly lifts off, catching sunlight, flying towards something beyond their sight. 3 broken people sit together on a park bench, holding hope like it's something they've earned. Maya takes both their hands. I think, she announces seriously, we're going to be okay. And looking at each other, the surgeon who learned to heal himself, the CEO who learned to feel, and the child who taught them both what strength really means. They believe her. The sun sets over Manhattan. Somewhere in the spaces between heartbeats, in the quiet moments of choosing presence over perfection.